for your patience and for your attention, and I do think I'm obligated to say a few words about this morning's session. As you may have noted, we had a very in-depth, thorough discussion on the issue relating to the fighting against the terrorism and extremism in Africa. We all know that terrorism and extremism constitute a growing threat to the peace and security in Africa. Not only that, they also constitute a big threat to people's lives and also to the development of African countries. That's based on the discussions among African countries and also with the special envoys of the Secretary General. The Security Council deems it necessary to take action, and we do think that this discussion is timely, is important. We have not only had a very good discussion, we have also issued a presidential statement which covers many dimensions of this issue. And we think with this morning's meeting and also the presidential statement, we demonstrate the firm determination of the Security Council, the United Nations, and the international community as a whole in fighting against the terrorism and extremism, wherever it is, in whatever forms. And I think the message from the Security Council is very, very clear and strong. And with this morning's meeting and also the presidential statement, we can also see that we are really united in supporting African countries' efforts in fighting against terrorism and extremism, especially in supporting their efforts in capacity building. You can see that from the presidential statement, we will give full support to capacity building, including information sharing, including the efforts in border control, and also including formulating national and regional strategies in fighting terrorism. And we can do a lot of things together. That's also what's needed in Africa, and also it's the general understanding in the Security Council that while fighting against terrorism, we need also to address the root causes of those issues, especially to promote economic and social development, to take care of the issues relating to women, to children, to youth. And that's extremely important for countries who are faced with poverty issues that give room for terrorists and other violent groups to recruit young people. And we do hope that with these efforts we can continue to go on. And what we do here, this message we send here, will be really helping African countries to move forward in our fight against the terrorism and extremism. And for China, we will continue to do that. We are already doing that in the framework of FOCAC, that's the China-African Cooperation Forum. And we're also doing that through the China-UN Peace and Development Fund. We are also doing that on the bilateral basis with African countries. So we do hope that we do not give any chance to terrorism and extremism wherever it is. And we do hope that with our efforts we will let terrorists to find no place to hide, and we will let terrorism to find no soil to grow, whether in Africa or in other parts of the world.
Ambassador, the World Health Organization called it a pandemic.
Is the Security Council going to take any extra precautions against coronavirus in the methods that you're working as a president for the Security Council? You're going to be responsible for this month, how you react to the spread of coronavirus.
To cancel some meetings?
Yes, the General Assembly, ECOSOC, and Security Council, together with the Secretariat, are coordinating on this matter. While it's our firm belief that we should not panic. Meanwhile, we should take all precaution measures and to prevent the spreading of the coronavirus in this building and to cooperate with each other and also in protecting ourselves. And the Security Council is also doing the same. China, as the presidency of the Council, is really coordinating among Council members, and we have issued a working note, and it mainly focuses on the scaling down of the meetings and the format of the meetings of the Security Council, and making sure that we will be in a better position to protect ourselves, and also making more efforts in stopping the spreading of this virus in this building. And I don't know whether it will be a public note, but it will be distributed among member states of the Security Council.
Scaling down, Ambassador, do you mean less meetings, shorter meetings? What do you mean?
We know at this moment all the meetings are there. By scaling down, we mean that we may reduce the number of participants for each delegation. We might move our informal consultations from the consultation room to the bigger chamber room, making sure that we have more space and we have less people. But because of the primary responsibility of the Security Council in maintaining world peace and security, and because of the current situation all over the world, and definitely the Security Council will continue to work and to work as hard as it was in previous days.
Is the scaling down going to start immediately?
Yes, I think so.
Ambassador, two questions. Two quick questions. I know, two quick ones. Just one quick one. Okay, one quick one. The World Health Organization has just declared coronavirus a pandemic. How do you compare what you're seeing living here in New York, what's happening in the United States, how they're dealing it, compared with how China dealt with the outbreak?
Well, first, with regard to the announcement of the WHO, we have our full respect to their announcement based on their professional knowledge, their comprehensive understanding of the situation. But meanwhile, with regard to what's happening in China, what I can tell you is that we are really making enormous progress in the controlling, in the maintaining of the momentum of the spreading of coronavirus, and we are really at a turning point, and life is really going back to normal on a gradual basis. President Xi is paying a visit to Wuhan, to Hubei province, and we do believe that we are really at a turning point, and new confirmed cases are very, very low at this moment, and they are mainly imported cases. Domestically, we see very, very little new increased cases. But still, the challenge remains there. We are determined to continue our effort. Whatever it is, we will do our best to continue to fight the virus until the final victory. Meanwhile, we are really working very closely with other countries. We are providing medical supplies to other countries, to Korea, to Japan, to Italy. We are sending medical teams to these countries who need that. And we will do whatever to join the international community to fight this virus, and it's really a common challenge, and it's also common responsibility of all of us to cope with that. And we firmly believe that the final victory belongs to us, really, because we have only one world. We have a shared future. We need to join hands. We need to show solidarity.
What do you think about the U.S. approach?
I do have no time, and otherwise the Secretary General will leave the. Thank you for your patience.
Okay, guys, let's hit till 3.